Hello, everybody. Hi, this is Krina. Welcome to episode number 28. Yeah. Today we just want to talk about basically the theme, right? Of is Bitcoin and crypto, just done and dusted, right? It's not, last almost like 1 week, right? It has not went up above 4,000 and now like below 4,000 again, right? And it still a sea of red as we can see, right? Yeah, it's very disheartening. But having said that, what happened is that actually it's really the people who are the rich and the powerful who are accumulating. And it looks like, unlike where the principle of the Bitcoin founder, right, the creator, is meant to have to say that Bitcoin is actually people's money, but it doesn't seem to be playing out that way because obviously the market that is red, that means there are so much sellers, right? There are just so much sellers. They are not just don't see the light and they're just quitting, and that's why the prices are crashing and there's just no buyers. But on the other hand, there's so much positive news, right? And it is really the rich who are buying. Who are they? Now, Grayscale, a digital currency investment firm, right, established in 2013, they now hold over 203,000 Bitcoin. That is actually more than 1% of the Bitcoin's current circulating supply, of 17.4 million units. And that's really a lot because it's just one company holding more than 1% of Bitcoin, right? It is very centralized, right? Don't you think? But yeah, you know, actually at these prices, it should be very affordable to normal people on the streets. But because there's so much scary news, right, that and they see the prices keep falling, they're just afraid to touch this, right? So I hope if you're listening out there, really consider, right, to get some at these low prices, right? Considering the long-term fundamental use cases of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, right? And again, it's not investment advice, right? I mean, I myself have bought, right? But again, this is not investment advice, but really do consider, right? Just look at what the rich are doing, right? And if this is going to be zero next year or the year after, why would these companies hold 1%, right? And they continue buying. That's what basically here it says. Despite a long bear market this year, Gracie has brought listing its investors adding to its Bitcoin position each month of 2018. Yeah. And who are these people who are buying from them? Basically, they are saying their company's BTC Bitcoin Investment Trust presently trades at 22% premium over Bitcoin's average market price, which suggests that this type of financial instruments may be more appealing to accredited investors. This really means the richer ones, right? The rich people, who have the money to spend actually, it's the high net worth, the billionaires, right? And this again tied in with Forbes article that actually, very positive, targeting the rich to say that, now is the time, right? It's the best trade of the decade, right? That was what the title is, yeah. So yes, it's just baffling to see why continue to sell. Of course, what you see the prices is the normal people, the investors, the retail investors who are selling. Whereas the rich people are actually buying, but they're not buying on open market like this, but they are instead buying on over-the-counter market. So those, they basically will not change the prices, right? But now they are actually coming out and say, right, the research firms have actually looked at their reports and they have actually shown that they now hold 1%, and that is a fact, right? That's a real disclosure, right? Fact is fact, right? Evidence is evidence. You can't turn a blind eye to the rich people are accumulating Bitcoin. So how about you, right? Apart from that, right, there's also a new cryptocurrency exchange, ArisX. They are going to be they're going to operate early next year, right? And who are the owner behind them? That is very interesting. It's people like Nasdaq, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, yeah, CBOE. All these are big names, right? Companies with a lot of money and a lot of smart people working for them, right? Who definitely did the research to say that, this asset definitely has future. Otherwise, why would they invest money into this crypto exchange, right? I mean, the biggest one now are mostly privately owned, and it's just started by people who are like from nowhere and right nowhere near the finance industry before. But now the banks, they want a piece of the action as well, and that's why they are launching Aries X. Yeah, Aries X will start to support Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ether trading on spot, and it will also list crypto futures contract beginning next year, right? So look at this. I mean, if yeah, again, if it is really expected to be a trash, it's expected to be worthless next year, why are people with so much money, accredited people, putting their money now and continue buying even at this bear market, right? Yeah. Yep. And Tim Draper, the millionaire venture capitalist, he has actually went on to say that, he has reported bought 40,000 coins in 2014 and he didn't sell. Right? He basically didn't sell. Draper has claimed that he hasn't sold it even now, right? As he still expects the new banking asset class to boom in the long haul. So again, similarly, right, these rich people who have bought in earlier, they could have sold, right? But then they didn't because they believe in the long-term potential of these coins. Yeah. Furthermore, right, there are just more firms. It's like every other day there is firms launching new cryptocurrency funds, and the fund size, the entry size will tell you who are the people that they are targeting. For example, these funds, right, by Bitwise Asset Management, they are the one of the funds, is minimum investment of $1 million. This is definitely either high net worth people, billionaires, right, or institutions, right, definitely. Or another fund is 25,000. Again, people who can put 25,000 in a risky asset class, right, so probably 1% of the asset, must be pretty high net worth as well, right, so really rich people. And why they are launching these funds is because they said, right, that basically, it's basically because they see a demand from the clients. Our clients have been adding to their positions throughout the downturn, and many who have been following the space for a while are using this opportunity to finally come in. So basically, that's why, right? Because only with demand, these firms will launch all these cryptocurrency funds, right? Because, and why are the funds useful for some people? Because they just refuse to, they refuse to go through the hassle of, buying their own wallets, safeguarding, buying on exchange. They just, rather than, and these are just rich people, right, who want the convenience over the security, right? I mean, they rather pay for the convenience, right? As you can see, normally these funds have a high premium of a 20% over the normal Bitcoin prices, which people like you and I will go to exchanges or Bitcoin ATMs to get our coins, right? But these people just rather get from funds, although it's 20% premium. Why? Because they see a long-term potential, long-term pricing that's much higher, right? So all the evidence are pointing to such, but yet the market is down, right? So make your own conclusions, yeah? And Congress' biggest Bitcoin bull is finalizing bill to exempt ICOs from securities laws. This one, basically Republican congressman, right, who is a fan of cryptocurrency and blockchain, is basically trying to introduce a legislation that will regulate ICOs and cryptocurrencies. Now, regulations is actually good because it starts to legitimize this space, right? And with more clarity, it is better, and definitely with clearer regulations, institutions' money are more confident to come in, and that's why probably, right, this is also another supporting factor why we are seeing so many companies, asset management companies, launching crypto and Bitcoin funds, because that they are seeing regulations start to be much clearer now. They are more accepting of crypto, but it's just that there are some parameters, but at least they're not like completely banning it. So they're more definitely very open. They're just legitimizing it by putting some clear parameters of what you can or cannot do, right? So definitely very positive for the institutions because they need such clarity before they can actually put in the money, right? Yeah, and again, continue, right? I mean, despite the market in bear market, Binance, which is the biggest exchange by trading volumes today, they continue to expand their offerings, right? And this one latest DEX platform is basically their decentralized platform where people do not have to, entrust their coins with a centralized party like Binance. So that means they are catering to, more and more types of investors out there, who want variety. So see, why would they do that? Again, because they are very committed, they are very confident, very optimistic of the long-term potential, right? That's what I think, right? So make a conclusion. Is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency done and dusted? Are they done for the year? Are they done forever? Right? Make your own conclusion. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this, please consider subscribing and leave a like. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Live with high energy. Live with passion.